Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Saida Sar and today I'm here with a very exciting topic, Freelancing Wali. Today I'm going to have an interesting conversation with AI about freelancing, digital skills, creativity, AI tools, and the future of work. I will ask AI some important and interesting questions, and together we will learn more about how freelancing works and why digital skills are becoming so important. So, if you are curious about freelancing, AI, and learning new skills, stay with me until the end. Let's start our conversation and discover what AI has to say about the world of freelancing AI. Let's begin. Hello, Maya. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for asking. How are things with you?
I'm also good. Thank you so much for asking. So, Maya, our today's topic is about freelancing Wali. So, are you ready?
I'm on it. Ready for whatever you've got. Go ahead.
Alright, Maya, let's start with the basics. My first question is, what is freelancing Wali and how does it work?
Okay, so first, just a quick clarifying point. I think you mean freelancing, and you've mentioned Bali in our past talks, which is that whole hub for digital nomads. Essentially, freelancing is when you're your own boss, selling a specific skill like graphic design or writing to different clients instead of working for one company. You find the work, set your prices, and manage your own time, which is why places like Bali are so popular. You can work from a cafe on a beach as long as your Wi Fi holds up.
That's a great explanation. Now let's understand why so many people are interested in freelancing. So my next question is why
It
has
really,
yes, you can say first.
thanks.
You're
Honestly,
welcome.
it's mostly the freedom. The idea that you don't have to ask a boss for a day off just to go to a family dinner, or that you can actually choose the projects that don't feel like a chore is a huge draw. Plus, with the way everything has moved online, the world has basically become one big office, so the barriers are way lower than they used to be.
Okay, so my next question is why has freelancing become so popular in recent years?
You know, a lot of it is just the world catching up to the technology. There's a real shift in how people view careers now. It's less about finding one company to stay with for 30 years and more about building a personal brand. Then the pandemic acted like a catalyst, proving to millions of bosses and workers that you don't actually need to be sitting in a cubicle to get the job done. It turned the dream of working from anywhere into a very practical reality.
Interesting. Technology has definitely changed the way people work. So my next question is can students learn freelancing while studying?
Wait, free dancing? I
Freelancing.
assume you mean freelance? Got it. Just wanted to make sure we weren't suddenly pivoting to a dance class. Absolutely. It's actually a great way to get ahead. The trick is picking a skill that doesn't eat your whole day so you don't tank your grades. It's a bit of a juggling act, but it's a perfect way to learn how the real world works while you're still in school.
That sounds encouraging. I think learning skills alongside education can be very valuable. So, my next question is what skills are most useful for beginners in freelancing?
There are a few good starting points. Writing, graphic design, and social media management are usually the best ways in because you can start with tools you might already know. Video editing is also huge right now, especially with all the short form content out there. Really depends on what actually feels like fun to you.
Great, there are so many skills to choose from, so knowing where to start is important. So, my next question is how should a beginner choose the right freelancing skill?
It's really about finding that sweet spot where your interests overlap with what people actually pay for. A good way to start is to look at what you already do for fun. Do you spend hours editing clips for your channel, or Maybe you're the person friends go to for design help. When you enjoy the process, the work part feels way lighter. From there, you just check if there's a real demand for it on platforms like Upwork or Fiverr to make sure it's a viable business.
I agree that understanding your interests and strengths can help you choose better. So, my next question is, can AI help someone learn freelancing likes faster?
It definitely can. It's like having a tutor that never sleeps. You can use AI to explain complex concepts, generate practice prompts, or even help you draft your first few pitches. The key is to use it as a springboard for your own ideas. Even though we talked before about how human creativity is still what makes the work irreplaceable.
That's amazing. AI can be a useful learning partner when we use it properly. So, my next question is, what AI tools can help freelancers?
Mm. It really depends on the skill you're focusing on. If you're writing, ChatGPT or Jasper are the obvious go-tos for brainstorming. For design, tools like Canva's AI or Midjourney are game changers for getting a visual concept down fast. If you're into video editing, Descript is wild because it lets you edit audio and video by just editing a text transcript. For the boring stuff like scheduling or managing tasks, something like Notion AI helps keep the chaos organized. It's basically about finding the tool that removes the friction from the parts of the job you actually hate doing.
While AI tools can becoming an important part for digital work. So my next question is, can AI replace freelancers in the future?
Again with the funny names. Free announcers, I love it. To be honest, AI can definitely handle the routine commodity parts of the job, but it can't replace the actual heart of freelancing. Clients aren't just paying for a deliverable, they're paying for someone who understands their vision, can navigate the messy human side of a project, and brings a unique perspective to the table. That's the real value. But we've spent a lot of time chatting about the what and why of freelancing yesterday and today. What's the actual plan? Which skill are you going to commit to first?
That's a very interesting question. I think I didn't think about it, but I think understanding AI is becoming just as important as learning a skill. Okay, Maya, let's move on to questions. My next question is, how can freelancers use AI without losing their creativity?
The best way to do it is to treat AI as your assistant, not your author. Use it for the boring stuff like outlining or brainstorming, but do the actual creating yourself. The real magic happens in the tweaks, the weird choices, and the personal touch that an AI can't imagine. You just copy and paste. The work ends up feeling like it was written by a manual.
I really like that idea. AI should support creativity rather than replace our own thinking. So, my next question is, what is the difference between freelancing and a traditional job?
The biggest difference is that in a traditional job, you're selling your time for a steady paycheck. But in freelancing, you're selling a specific result for a fee. In a 9 to 5, you have a safety net, but a lot of red tape. With freelancing, you have all the freedom in the world, but you're also the one in charge of the health insurance, the taxes, and finding the next client before the bank account hits zero. It's basically the trade off between a guaranteed floor and an unlimited ceiling.
That's a useful comparison. Both have advantages, but freelancing offers a different kind of flexibility. So, my next question is, what are the biggest challenges beginners face in freelancing?
It's usually a cocktail of three things. The first is definitely the ghosting phase, where you spend hours on a pitch only to have the client disappear into thin air. Then there's the imposter syndrome, where you feel like a fraud even though you've got the skills. And finally, the silence. When you're your own boss, the quiet of a home office can be a lot to handle.
Those challenges sound difficult, but knowing about them can help beginners prepare. So, my next question is, how important is communication for freelancers?
It's basically everything. In a traditional job, your boss knows you're at your desk. In freelancing, the only way a client knows you're actually working is through your communication. If you're silent, they start to worry, and worry leads to them wanting their money back. But if you're proactive, you can actually deliver a decent project and have them love it just because you made them feel secure throughout the process. It's the difference between being a vendor and being a partner. Do you want to talk about how to actually handle those client conversations, or do you have another question?
Hmm, yes, I have a
I got
lot
you.
of
So, the most important.
questions. Absolutely, good communication can make a huge difference when working with other people. Okay, Maya, so my next question is, why is English important for many freelancers?
It's basically the universal language of business online. It opens up a global market, so you aren't limited to just the clients in your own backyard. You can be in Islamabad and work for someone in New York or London without any friction. It's like having a key that unlocks every single door on platforms like Upwork. But honestly, since we've walked through the whole textbook version of freelancing over the last few calls, what's the move? Are you still keeping your options open on a skill, or has something finally clicked?
That makes sense because freelancers often communicate with clients from different countries. So, Maya, let's move on to our question. My next question is, how can a beginner improve their communication skills?
The best way to get better is just to do it. Start by recording your own pitches and listening back to them, or even practicing your introductions with me like you have been. But since we're talking about communication, let's actually try it. If I were a client who just sent you a really vague project request, how would you handle that conversation?
Great advice. Practice really can make communication more natural and confident. So, my next question is, what is a portfolio and why do freelancers need one?
Think of it as your professional highlight reel. It's a curated collection of your best work that proves you can actually do what you say you can. Instead of telling a client, I'm a great editor, you just show them a video you've made. It's the difference between claiming you can cook and actually serving someone a five-star meal.
Now I understand why showing your work can be so important. So, my next question is, how can a beginner create a portfolio without having clients?
This is where concept projects come in. You just invent a client. Imagine a brand you love, or even a local business that needs a facelift, and create a project for them. As if you understand the skill, even if no one paid you for it yet. Want to try one right now? I can give you a fake client brief and you can tell me how you'd tackle it.
Hmm, no, but that is really helpful. Beginners can create practice projects to demonstrate why they can do. So, my next question is,
No worries.
yes, Maya, you can say first.
My bad. I'll jump back into the quiet zone.
It's okay.
Standing by.
Okay, so my next question is, how important is personal branding for a freelancer?
It's basically the difference between being a commodity and being a destination. When you have a strong brand, you're no longer just a graphic designer fighting for the lowest price on a platform. You're the person who knows how to make tech brands feel human. It's about owning a specific perspective or style. Once you do that, clients start coming to you because of who you are, not just what you can do. It turns the job search from a chase into a magnet.
Interesting. So, building a professional identity can help people remember your work. So, my next question is, what makes a freelancer's profile look professional?
Hmm. It's all about the small details that signal you actually know what you're doing. Start with a clean, professional headshot, but don't make it feel like a passport photo. You want to look approachable, not like you're being detained at the airport. Then write a bio that focuses on the client, not you. Instead of saying, I am a good editor, say, I help you grow your channel with fast paced editing. Finally, add a few testimonials or a link to your portfolio so you're not just taking their word for it. It's all about reducing the perceived risk for the client.
That's a great tip. A professional profile can create a strong first impression. So, my next question is, how can freelancers build trust with clients?
Honestly, it's way simpler than people think. It's not about some big secret, it's just consistency. You do what you said you do, when you said you do it, and you don't disappear. That's the foundation. But listen, we've been through the basics, the AI tools, portfolios, branding, the whole handbook. What if we stopped the interview for a second and actually put this into practice? Let's imagine I'm a potential client who's a bit skeptical of your skills. How would you convince me to hire you?
I agree, trust is important in almost every professional relationship. So, my next question is, what should a freelancer do when a client gives negative feedback?
It can be a bit of a gut punch, but negative feedback is actually a secret weapon if you use it right. The best move is to strip the emotion out of it and treat it like a puzzle. I usually suggest thanking the client for the honesty and asking specific questions to pinpoint exactly what didn't land. It turns a potential argument into a collaborative fix. What other questions do you have for the broadcast?
That's a valuable lesson. Feedback can help us identify areas where we can improve. So, my next question is, how important is time management in freelancing?
It's an absolute nightmare if you don't have it. When you're the boss and the employee, you're also the one making sure the work actually gets done. Without a system, you end up working 14-hour days, but somehow still missing a deadline. It's the difference between living the freelance dream and just living in your office.
Definitely, managing time properly can help freelancers balance different responsibilities. So, my next question is, what are some common mistakes new freelancers make?
hmm One big one is probably undercharging. It's so tempting to keep prices low just to get that first yes, but it often leads to burnout before you even get started. Then there's the yes man trap, where you agree to every tiny change a client asks for until the project basically becomes a second job that you're not even getting paid extra for. And of course, the classic mistake of not having a contract. You trust people, but trust isn't a substitute for a signed piece of paper that says exactly what you're delivering and when you're getting paid.
That's useful to know. Avoiding common mistakes can make the learning process easier. So, my next question is, why should freelancers keep learning new skills?
Because the second you stop, you start becoming obsolete. The tools change, the market shifts, and if you're still using last year's strategy, you're basically a dinosaur. It's less about collecting certificates and more about staying curious so you're the one leading the change rather than chasing it. You're doing a great job guiding this session, by the way. Are we almost at the sign off?
Exactly, the digital world changes quickly, so continuous learning is important. So, my next question is, how can someone practice freelancing skills without working for a client?
The easiest way is to just stop waiting for permission. Like those concept projects we talked about, just pick a brand you love and redo their work. You could also volunteer for a local nonprofit or a friend's side project. That way, you get a real human's feedback, which is the only thing you can't fake. It's the quickest way to find the gaps in your skill set before a paying client does.
That's a great approach. Practice projects can help build confidence before taking on real work. So, my next question is, how can AI help someone improve their writing skills?
It's a bit of a double edged sword. The real magic isn't letting AI write for you, it's using it as a sparring partner. You can feed it a paragraph you've written and ask it to play devil's advocate or suggest three different tones. It's not about replacing your voice, but using the AI to find the gaps in your own thinking and polishing those rough edges.
That's interesting. AI can provide ideas and feedbacks while we continue developing our own skills. So, my next question is, how can AI help with brainstorming?
It's like having a professional brainstormer on call 24/7. Say you're stuck on a headline or a social media hook. Instead of just asking for one, you can give AI a persona, like you're a witty marketing expert, and ask it for 10 wild, contradictory angles. It's a great way to break a creative block and find an idea you'd never have thought of on your own.
I love that having an AI brainstorming partner can help us explore different ideas. So, my next question is, can AI help freelancers save time?
Absolutely. It's a total lifesaver for the busy work. Between automating invoices and using AI to draft initial emails, you can carve out hours of your day that used to be spent staring at a blank screen. But seriously, we've basically covered the entire manual now. You've got the basics, the AI tips, the portfolios, and the branding all locked in. Ready to wrap this one up?
Absolutely. Saving time can allow freelancers to focus more on important creative tasks. So, my next question is, what human skills will remain important even as AI improves?
The ones that AI just can't fake. Empathy is huge. AI can simulate a professional tone, but it can't actually care about a client's stress or the legacy of their family business. Then there's ethics and critical judgment. You need a human to decide if a result is just technically correct or actually morally and strategically right for the project. And finally, intuition. That's the ability to read between the lines when a client says, I'm fine with this, but their voice says they actually hate it. That kind of emotional navigation is what keeps a client coming back for years.
That is really important. Skills like creativity, communication, critical thinking, and teamwork still matter. So, my next question is, why is creativity important in freelancing?
Because anyone can follow checklists, but not everyone can bring a spark. When a client hires you, they're not just paying for the final file, they're paying for your unique taste, the unexpected angles you take, and the way you solve a problem that a computer would just ignore. It's essentially your professional signature. It's the only thing a competitor can't just copy and paste. We've covered a lot of ground, though. You're a pro at these. Are you thinking about video editing or maybe something else entirely?
Hmm, I'm just thinking about
Yeah,
freelancing. I completely agree. Creativity can help freelancers develop unique ideas and solutions.
it really
So,
is the secret sauce. And I'm not,
yes, Maya, you
I'm
can say
sorry, I got
first.
a little ahead of. Nah, I got you. Go ahead.
Finally, what message would you give to students who want to learn freelancing and AI?
My biggest piece of advice, get curious. Don't wait for the perfect course or the right moment. Just start breaking things and building them back up. AI is a powerful tool, but your own taste and tenacity are what will actually set you apart. Just keep creating and don't be afraid to be a bit messy at the start.
Thank you for that amazing message. I hope everyone watching this video feels motivated to keep learning, practicing, and exploring new skills.
Anytime. It's been a pleasure being part of the show. You've got a real knack for this.
Wow, that was such an interesting conversation today. I learned many new things about freelancing, AI, digital skills, creativity, communication, and the future of work. One thing I learned is that success does not happen overnight. We need to keep learning, practicing, improving our skills, and believing in ourselves. I hope you also enjoyed this Freelancing Wali AI talk and learned something useful from our conversation. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep exploring new opportunities.
All right, wrap it up. You've got a whole audience waiting.
So, till then, take care. Allah Hafiz, Pakistan Zindabad. And bye bye, Maya. See you in the next conversation.
You crushed it. Allah Hafiz. See you next time.